name is Jason. I'm a registered polysomnographic technologist, or a registered sleep tech, or the lanky lefty if you're on my forum. What I wanted to talk about is the ramp feature on your CPAP or BiPAP machine. A lot of people get this, get the machine, and they have the person who's setting them up on it tell them, yeah, just hit the button and then go to sleep. Well, you don't have to hit the button. But more importantly, you should know exactly what happens when you do hit the button. Now obviously it's a ramp, so it's going to be ramping up. These are typically set for 20 minutes, and oftentimes they're set at either 4 or 5 for the bottom. So let's pretend like your pressure is 12 centimeters of water pressure. If you turn it on, like this one is set for 12, you can see it goes up to 12. But then if I hit the ramp button, it shows a ramp icon, and then you can see it drops down to 4 centimeters of water pressure. Now over the next 20 minutes, actually I have this set for 15 minutes, over the next 20 minutes what this is going to be doing is it's going to be ramping up, going up to that, that pressure. So is this good or bad? If you have it set for 20 minutes, what happens if you fall asleep after 5 minutes? What happens if you fall asleep after 10 minutes and you're not quite at your therapeutic pressure? What happens? Hopefully this is going to show you. This is meant to simply inform you of what happens or what can happen, or whether you want to use it or not use it. The general, the whole purpose of the ramp is if your pressure is too high for you, it gives you a period of time to fall asleep. That's not a bad thing, but if you can tolerate the pressure just fine when you turn it on and it's full blast at 12 or whatever pressure you're on, over a period of time, what I'm going to be doing is I'll hit the ramp. For 15 minutes, it's going to be increasing up to 12, which is what I have this set at. And then I'm going to continue doing this for 5 minutes after, so you can see how Sleepyhead responds to it, how the data responds to it, what all is recorded, what's not recorded, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do to help illustrate this is I'm going to set the machine for a 15-minute ramp period, just because I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to record it for 20 minutes though. So for the first 15 minutes, it's going to be on the ramp feature all the way up. Every 30 seconds, I'll stop breathing. I'll put my hand up just so you know that I'm stopping breathing. And then for the last 5 minutes, it will be at the therapeutic pressure. And at that point, we'll see exactly what data is collected, what's not collected, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up right now, and then we'll start recording, and then we'll go over the data so you can see exactly how it's affected and how you might better adjust your therapy with the ramp feature, or decide whether you want to use it or not. And just before I start this, in case anyone's wondering, the mask I'm going to be using is a ResMed Swift FX Nano, not for any particular reason other than I kind of like it and it's comfortable. So I'll be using it. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, that pretty much sucked. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna download that data onto Sleepyhead, and we will look at exactly what happened. I had a brief malfunction there. Hopefully nothing went wrong, real wrong. I was holding up the machine for such a long time, my arms started getting kind of numb, and I needed to adjust the camera down a little more. And when I did that, I pulled the plug on the machine. So, oh man, that sucks. So anyway, when I plugged it back in, which was like that fast, it was still doing the ramp. So I think we're fine, but you're going to see probably a brief period of time where the data's gone. If not, I'm going to have to refold the whole thing, and you'll never see this part anyway. So here we are in Sleepyhead, so I just need to import some data. So I select import SD. Oh, that is the right one. P series. Ah, nice, nice, nice. Choose that. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our daily. Today is the 22nd, and that's what we want. We should have nothing there because it's a brand new card. So you can see right up here, I'm using a REMstar Auto, using it in CPAP mode. Max pressure was 12. Right here it shows the minimum pressure was 4. And so when I hit the ramp button, it went down to 4. Then over a period of time, it went up to 12. So for the first, I had it set for 15 minutes also. And this is where the power got pulled. So that was neat. But pretty much you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just breathing, then I would stop breathing for 10 seconds and I'd resume breathing again, and you can see that pretty clear. It was setting, I don't know if you could hear it, it was doing a pressure pulse to determine what kind of apnea it was, and it was right. I was fooling it with my obstructive apnea, and you can see I'm doing them all throughout the night, or throughout when I was just sitting there. So here's an interesting thing. So the pressure, you can see it starts off at 4. Get off of there, man. What the heck? You can see it's at that little right below the 5, and then it's just going up and up and up, and it is totally, if I back out, you can see from this point here to here, it's just a complete straight line. It's like if you were to draw a straight edge from 4 to 12, and then you can see at 12 it tops out. Leak rate, you have snoring, all that stuff, blah blah blah. So when you're using CPAP and you use the ramp, it's going to take you however long you have the ramp set to get to your therapeutic pressure. Now your therapeutic pressure is a pressure that has been determined to, it's what makes your apnea go away or your hypopneas go away. So if it's not at that pressure, it's really not going to be doing you as much good as it should be. So every time you hit the ramp button, what you're saying is, my next 20 minutes is going to be crap because I can't take my typical pressure. And that's okay. If you can't take your normal pressure while you're awake and it's too uncomfortable for you, by all means hit the ramp button. Absolutely. I just want you to be informed exactly what's happening while you're hitting the ramp button. So if you're on an auto titrating machine, an APAP, again, it's going to be doing this ramp up to your minimum pressure. Then once it reaches your minimum pressure, it's again going to almost have to ramp up based on your lack of breathing. So if you are on an APAP and your minimum pressure is set to, say, typically they're not really set all that high. So pretend like it's set to 7. You hit the ramp button. So for 20 minutes, it's going to be taking its time to get from 4 to like 6 or 7. And then after that 20-minute period, it's going to again have to ramp up from you having apneas and hypopneas, etc., before it gets to the therapeutic pressure that's the best for you. Every time, if you have an APAP, you're basically saying, for 30 to 40 minutes, I'm going to be getting pretty poor sleep. And what happens is sometimes people get into the habit of this, and they hit the button, and they don't really understand that that's it can be pretty detrimental to your sleep. So I just want you to be informed of that. Understand what is happening every time you hit ramp, and especially if you're on an APAP. If you need it, obviously use it, but do your best to try to wean yourself off of that and get used to the regular pressure throughout the day. You can do desensitization techniques where you're wearing the mask. You have it on your full blast pressure while you're either reading a book or you're watching TV, and just get used to the pressure. It's a different way of breathing, and eventually you'll get used to it. But oftentimes I think ramp is used inappropriately, and I'm just using this anecdotally from when people come into the lab. Oftentimes what you can get is this kind of look with all this stuff occurring, and it is. I kind of do think good. Ramp is more of a short-term crutch at best. if you need to be on a certain pressure, then that's the pressure you need to be on. I mean, there's really no getting around it. If you need 10 centimeters water pressure, you need to be at 10 centimeters water pressure. If there's a range because you're on APAP, that's cool. But every time you hit that ramp button, it's just dropping you down out of the zone. It's just, I don't know, it's like I feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot. And I personally never ever use a ramp because I know what it does. It's like giving you, it's like the dieters. If you have a plan, stick with the plan. And the plan is a certain pressure works for you. That pressure is what has been determined to work for you. So as far as little tweaks here and there, like if your doctor says 12 centimeters of water pressure is the pressure to be on, and you're like, well, sleepyhead data shows this or that, and you talk to your doctor and you tweak it up or tweak it down, not what I'm talking about at all. But a drastic change down to 4 or 5 centimeters of water pressure, like completely far away from your prescribed pressure, that's just craziness. And so in my opinion, I think it's kind of crazy to do, kind of crazy to use if you're using it for longer than like a week or two, while you're initially getting used to CPAP and trying to adjust to the pressure. But again, like I said, there's other ways to get used to it. Put it on while you're reading a book or watching TV, and there's no pressure to try to sleep, and that way you're just simply getting used to the pressure and getting used to the feel for it. So, I mean, I understand why people use it. I totally get it. But, yeah, I think it's kind of lame. I do. I'm sorry. I do. It's my opinion. All right, well, hopefully you learned something about the ramp feature, whether you want to use it or not, but you understand what it's going to do while you're sleeping, while you're trying to sleep. If you have any questions, please visit my forum. It's freecpapadvice.com/forum. You can check out my website, which is freecpapadvice.com, or you can leave a message on YouTube. Make sure you tell your friends, tell your doctor, tell everyone.